Hello, Mr. Renfro here. I'm at the Fort Sumter National Park, National Monument, and today I'm going to make a trip out to Fort Sumter and check out where the Civil War started. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. As I start my video here, I want to talk about the National Monument Visitor Center. It's a cool place to go into prior to getting on the ferry. It tells you a lot about the history of Fort Sumter and the city of Charleston itself during this time in history. There's lots of displays inside that discuss the city, that discuss slavery, that discuss how life was back during this time. It talks about cotton production. It talks about how South Carolina declares its independence from the United States after the election of Lincoln in 1860 and how it secedes and leaves the Union. Lots of good information here. You get an opportunity to go, I would highly recommend it. It's open daily for you to go see. It's down near the South Carolina Aquarium. Now, I am getting ready to go on my trip across the harbor. Here I'm in line waiting, and this is the ship that I eventually get on to go out into the harbor. The trip takes about 30 minutes total to get there and to get back. Good little journey across the harbor. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too choppy. So once you get there, you get off and you get free time basically to go around. You get like an hour to go around and view the exhibits and things there at the harbor. While you're there, you can see cannons, and they tell you the different kinds of cannons used and artillery for this battle. It really wasn't a battle, it was firing upon. But, you know, it's a good opportunity for you to go there and just to look around. And there's lots of little information kiosks and things there you can read and learn about what happened and the positions around the fort that were firing upon the fort. So I really had a good time during this, and I hope you guys, if you ever get an opportunity to go there, as Colonel Anderson, it's worth the time and effort. So I hope you continue. I'm going to continue on with the video. What you guys, just wanted to let you know, it's Mr. Renfro. I'm in South Carolina at Fort Sumter, and this is the place where the Civil War begins. This fort will be fired upon by several places here in Charleston, different forts around the harbor. If I swing around, you can see the harbor, and way off in the distance there is the city of Charleston. And you can also see the big Ashley Cooper Bridge in the distance. But anyway, let's turn this back around. All right. This is on April 12th, 1861, Confederate Army will fire upon this fort. It's occupied by the Union, about 85 people, somewhere around there. Their officer in charge is Colonel Anderson. They refused to surrender, and this was seen as an eyesore to the Confederacy. So they basically had seceded after President Lincoln had been elected president in 1860. South Carolina had seceded, and they didn't want the Union fort here anymore. They'd already confiscated post offices and other federal facilities the South had, and this was, like I said, seen as an eyesore and something that the Confederates wanted to control this too, because it's right out in the middle of this harbor, as you can see. This is surrounded by water. I'm just on one side of it, so you can't see all the water. That's the boat I came in on, oh, by the way. Anyway, let's turn this camera around so you can see me. Anyway, I like going visiting these places because it's part of our history. It's part of your history. It's Civil War history.